You know, when a farm is able to still be owned by a family after 100 years, it's a proud day for the family and for agriculture. Well, Georgia has a surprisingly high number of farms that have reached that century mark. And today, the Monitor's Rick Treptow tells us about two of them.
A yearly recognition of Centennial farms has been done since 1993. The applicants are thoroughly vetted before they are given plaques. The ceremony is now done during a luncheon at the Georgia National Fair in Perry. There are 401 Centennial farms. Thomas Coleman accepted the award for the Coleman Holland farm in Colquitt County. It is still operated by Thomas and Nancy Coleman. The Colemans talked one day about how they know it's over 100 years old.
Well, it's actually the first deed from the governor of Georgia in 1835. This actual deed says that this land at one time belonged to the Creek and the Cherokee Indians.
We just think it's phenomenal, just really that through two untimely deaths of the family members at relatively early age, and through the Depression and all the economic hard times as well as the weather hard times, that the family has been able to continue to farm this farm for over 100 years.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6 weeks that it actually fruited and it held the cotton.
Most of their land was cleared of trees by Thomas's grandfather. Now he handles a beef cattle herd. This hardy cotton crop, full of bolls when we were there, was better than expected. But guess what? His fields are not irrigated.
This is some good land through here. It's a good Tifton pebble soil, and we have a good clay base under it. Now this year has been an exception. This has been the driest, hardest year that I've ever had in farming. I've never seen one like this.
Thomas grew these 06G peanuts. He's a small to medium-sized farmer. No longer can the family's retired equipment, though, be used to work enough to sustain production.
But it's going to be a struggle in the next, few years or the next generation or so, just to keep a small farmer going. But we cannot keep going with the equipment and fertilizer prices going up, up, up.
Peggy Martin received the Centennial Award for their farm mid-state. The 133-year-old piece of ag heritage is now owned by Peggy and Gary Martin in Crawford County. The fourth-generation farm was sold and kept in the family by Peggy's great-grandfather in 1878. Left to right is the original house, old kitchen, and hay barn. The first 202.5 acres cost $600. Barns and equipment were convenient. There is also the car shed, the wash house, and old kitchen. The well-used corn crib is now shaded by trees. But the house burned in 1924. It was renovated twice after that. Peggy, a former Houston County school teacher, certainly remembers the farm life.
Things that I did not enjoy doing. Hoeing watermelons, gathering watermelons. I got just as much money as the other farm workers did, which was very little.
She married Gary Martin after her first husband died. Then they grew hay on the farm for 5 years.
Well, we've been trying to restore the farm back in some areas the way it was back when Peggy's daddy had it, and we've been pretty successful so far. It's a lot of work.
They do have a 100 by 40-foot hay barn that stores some of what's produced on nearby fields. The future of the farm with Peggy and Gary seems permanent.
Well, we hope it stays in the family. It's set up now in a family trust for my 2 sons, and I doubt if they will ever come and farm. They're not really interested in that. They both have other jobs.
I love the farm life. More people should be able to enjoy it. Matter of fact, we have a lot of company that comes and sits exactly where we're at, up here on the front porch, and read a book and just look out and enjoy the peace and the quiet. So, yeah, farm life is great.
I'm Rick Treptow for the Georgia Farm Monitor.